Hello everybody, hello Huckleberry, welcome to the stream. We're rebuilding a thing. I started disassembly. For everyone watching the VOD and for everyone who's watching right now, hi, welcome. Hound's Armory, trying to get back into the swing of doing the YouTube things. If you want to support the channel, obviously hit that subscribe button. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 20 people, really close. I don't know what the number is to 1,000 subscribers, which is huge. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, Patreon and Teespring for merch link should be in the description. If they're not, I'll put them in there for the VOD. So yeah, if you're watching live or, excuse me, watching the VOD, go ahead and say hi, and I'm going to go grab a drink, and then I guess we'll get started. I knew there was something I forgot. Hey, Jet Speed Studios, I will be right back. All right. Let's keep. Oh, you know that is perfect. Alrighty then. Oh no, already had a heart. All right, gotta go. I'll be back. All right, see you later, Huckleberry. Thanks for dropping by. Hanging out. It's been a while. Can I get someone to confirm that videos coming through good, sounds coming through good? I'm playing a little music. Can everybody hear that? First time seeing Inside the Love Reaction 3D. Yes. So I don't think I did my original build on stream, as I was a beta tester and I didn't want to leak any of the secrets, but this thing is published now, and I don't know if the files are published, but the kits are being sold and the full blasters are being sold by GDOP, so I guess I should have thrown his website in the description. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, I was going to make one. Printer's too small. So, JetSpeed, what printer do you have? Because I have an Ender 3, and some of the original parts, like the upper and lower receivers, were kind of a pain to print. So good. Can't hear the music. Okay. Just turn up the volume a little bit. They were a little big, but they were doable. But now there's versions which I'm going to be installing that are for a smaller print bed. So beyond those parts, the only other part that might be too big would be the buttstock, which I have mine just off camera here because I designed my own Prusa Mark III S. You should be able to get one of these off on a Prusa, especially with the two-part upper and lower. Yeah. The other thing is, my lower receiver here is not exactly straight. So, I'm about to see the janky process that is getting this breech block in and out. So, it would help if I took the screw out. It's been a while since I opened this thing up. So I gotta remember where all the screws are and how everything interlocks. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm not replacing all the parts. I'm just replacing the parts I know are good and out of date, as well as the parts that have been starting to mess up on me, like my elevator. Where's just that catching on? There it goes. Replacing that in a second. So yeah, Oh. Cool. I don't know. Felt like playing jazz, so we're listening to some jazz. Oh, there it goes. Everything's like that at once. So yeah, for the most part, I think my core power pack here is going to stay the same. I might just clean everything off and relube everything. So yeah. If anyone's got any questions or anything, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just kind of going to keep working on this thing. Oh yeah. Getting gunky. It's quite complex inside, but it seems like a fun build. It is a fun build. It's not that bad of a build, actually. I think I did it with like minimal instructions. There's a couple weird things like here, I'll show you once I remember how to get this out. There we go. Like the lever assembly here and the placement of these kind of wing sections, because there's a central lever and then spacers and these wings, which are actually what impinge on the bolt here. That was a little confusing, but just because the instructions I did have were from a previous version in which the shape here was different, so it was a little misleading. If I remember correctly, the only other like hard part of the build was getting it to catch, because all the metal parts are laser cut, so you have to, I had to go in with a file and put a bevel on one side of the catch plate. But yeah, no, it's not bad. Things said. So yeah, I printed my originals just on my Ender 3 flat at a 45-degree angle like this, and I don't know if you can see, but my lower receiver here was just a little warped and a little, where's my lens? A little out of spec. So I had to do a lot of filing to get this to fit. And this is like my third or fourth upper receiver, again printed flat at a 45. And I keep getting a split right here at the front of the ejection port. But with the new version, I got to print in a different orientation. This should fix most of my problems. I've forgotten the fit form. Do you know? I think I've been getting like 150s out of it with the, I think it's the length of K26 it comes with. Though I did find a spring combo that got me down to around 100 for when I took this to New Atlanta. I don't remember what that spring combo was, but the lighter prime was nice. So we can get rid of that. I'll address that in a minute. I'm going to pull off my top rail. Screwdriver. It's a very fun blaster. This is maybe my current favorite blaster. Yeah, it probably is, and hopefully with some of these changes, not only will it be better because I'll have a better orange tip and things like that, but hopefully it's a little more reliable and I'm not going to be quite as like, feel less sketchy taking it out, feel like I'm going to prime it wrong once and snap something. So yeah. So yeah, basically the only parts from my old build that I'm keeping are my lifter sled here, my kind of elevator housing, the main power pack here, minus that cam surface, this front, my 2 chunks of front rail here, or top rail, like that grip, lever assembly, and the hardware. So new, oh, and the front grip. So new receivers, new barrel setup. The barrel and the receivers are what I knew I definitely needed to do. And while I was at it, my elevator stopped working, so I thought I'd replace those parts. And a new Buttstock. But I'll talk to that when I put that on, because I feel like someone with better design skills needs to address that, because I don't love the aesthetics on it, but it does work for what I want it to work for. So let's finish cleaning this up. Start here because it's easy. If you ever yes, it's from our local groups. Gotta save up for the kit. Yeah. I think my local wars cap at like 160 or 170, and I've never had a complaint with this. Although I will say it's very fun getting a pot shot to tag out someone with like an FDL with this. It's a good, feels good moment. I'm just gonna take all the grease off of this. Oh yeah, there's gunk all, there's dirt and gunk all up in here. Probably was do a clean regardless. Honestly, some of these parts have probably been updated, but I'm not having a problem with them. My printer's kind of spoken for at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. Beyond, oh yeah, cleaning all this gunk out. One thing I will say is, this is the catch and plunger rod mechanism, and it's very strong, but the fact that you kind of have to work on the blaster with it like this, especially when you're assembling and disassembling it, is a little sketchy. But yeah, just be careful not to hit your catch there, which I should probably take this apart and re-grease that whole thing. There's probably all sorts of dirt and dust up in there. Don't explode on me! Okay, we're good. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, JetSpeed. It's really not that sketchy. You just have to pay attention to it, while you're still here. Basically, just put pressure on it and just slowly let the spring out. But all of it's really held together by the spring tension when it's not in the blaster, so, you know, that kind of stuff. Enjoy dinner. Hope to see you back in a little bit. I just had a fresh paper towel. Alright, I've been talking to Jet Speed. Who else is here? So yeah, here, let me see if you can see what I was talking about with the catch. This edge right here. I don't know if my camera's not focusing. Come on. It is beveled, whereas on the back is still square up there. That's what really fixed my catching issue. So yeah. Guess kind of all the cleaning I needed to do and get to reassembly. A little bit of silicone oil just on my contact surfaces. Just help everything be smooth. Though that does kind of contribute to the gunk that gets in this blaster, but I don't really mind. I'd rather the blaster last longer than me have to open it up, you know, once in a blue moon than be worried about. This is one thing I think, I don't know who's left and listening, but this pin that holds the plunger rod on the plunger head, I feel like should be the same width. I mean, I get why it's not the same width as the plunger head, but it is a little worrisome trying to get it kind of centered in there. Something's thinner and pokey. There. Make sure you get this lined up right. And you just put it down. There's that. We're going to put that carefully to the side. And address this guy. Real quick. Simply replacing my lifter cam with a new one. Because my lifter stopped activating reliably, so I'm just replacing that system. So it's this cam here on the bolt. Which is what kind of ties the motion. The bolt, and you want it to be just loose enough to slide freely. Okay. Just go ahead and take this. Oh, silicone oil in there. Just nice bead on the edge. That's good and spread. Put our power pack to the side. Let's look at our receiver now. Let's put this together. So if you are using the split top receiver, I think you do have to use the full top rail because it helps reinforce it a little bit. As well as, you know, hide the seam just a tad, which is always nice. beat jazz or whatever. So yeah, this is a riveting stream. Just watching me put screws into plastic. So, isn't that every modding stream? Come here. We got to the weird end of this playlist. I'll start it over. A little bit of flashing on the inside. I don't know how much that's actually going to affect things. Something I didn't check for, but I should, is I don't think there's a loading gate in the files anymore, or yet at all. Really hope there will be at some point. That should be plenty sturdy there. Now we're looking at this. One other thing that I'm trying is the new pieces that are in the gray are not my usual eSun. They are, I think the spool's on the printer right now. Polymaker, I think is the brand. Polymaker, Polyterra PLA filament. It's trying to make like a more eco-friendly kind of filament that thought was interesting, so I picked up a spool, and it prints fine. But I'm not sure how durable it is, so putting it on my favorite blaster, seeing how long it lasts. Diamond Jeho, what's going on? What's your favorite part of the Wingchester? Probably, as goofy as it sounds, my favorite part about running the Wingchester is like the first round of the day, or like when I first took it to Nuclanta, and especially around people who aren't around a whole bunch of 3D printed and kind of hobby blasters. And when you like run the action and the first shell pops out and they just have the stunned look on their face and like, that's so cool. That's fun. And honestly, just it feels cool. It feels very cowboy. It is kind of rough. The reload is kind of, you know, it's a tube magazine. It takes time. I am working on a speed loader for it though, but it kind of works. It needs some help. It needs some work. But you know, aren't we all working on stuff constantly? No. But yeah, probably just kind of the giggle factor of the whole thing of like, I'm a cowboy. Probably my favorite part. That and the fact that the build isn't as bad as I was expecting it to be when I signed on to be a beta tester. Because I know everyone talks about how just hard and complex the Spring Thunder can be to build. Which I don't have a Spring Thunder yet. I do plan on getting one. I just haven't had the time or the money to get my hands on a kit. Though Boomstick Mods just put out a new video, I think updating his personal Spring Thunder, and it looks amazing. So it's kind of encouraging me to, you know, get on that. Yeah, no, this blaster is just fun. There's not too many words to describe it besides just fun. It performs well. There was a couple rounds the last Carolina Nerf Association Darts in the Park where I went to, where we kind of had a good squad for those rounds actually, and it was me and a guy with a worker Swift were kind of holding down the long range, and I had this and I was keeping up with the Swift, and that's pretty fun. You know, new hotness versus the gimmick blaster, and the gimmick blaster kept up. Okay, I need to not move on to something else before I get the base put together. Yeah, I feel like my internals could use an update, but it's a question for a later day. Focus actually. Thank you, Percussion for Life? Am I saying that right? Yeah. Thank you. It's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of this thing. Definitely no hyperbole saying that this is my favorite blaster currently. Yeah. It's not the only blaster I ever use, but man. Alright, that's the sketchy way to do things. You're supposed to slide it in all as one chunk. Here's a question. Can I get a pen through there? Where's my rubber bag? I don't think there's any... Maybe I can. Build it initially? Not including print time, probably 2 hours. But that includes quite a bit of cleanup, like I said, quite a bit of filing on my lower receiver. This receiver that isn't, warped and funky is going together much smoother. Yeah. Curious. Obviously, there are instructions now, so I could go reference those, but where's the fun in that? I'm wondering. I was always curious. I think there's supposed to be a pin that goes through here. I'm going to say that there's a pin that goes through here. I can tap one in. I'll at least tap one in temporarily. Once I get the thing more together, then I'll worry about all of that shifting around. Okay. So... silicone oil on my table. I really can't I can't overstate how shocked I was at just how easy this build was. I was expecting. I mean, it is not easy. It is not a simple build. It's not something like a Lynx, which is a super simple build. But at the same time, it is not like hair-pulling, multi-sitting, ridiculously taxing hard build. So, kind of full marks in that regard. Remember the orientation of this. It's gotta be like that, huh? Yeah. That's not gonna go through there. Yeah. I haven't really had time to clean up a lot of these parts, so there's gonna be a couple moments like this where I'm having to a little bit of part cleanup to keep us moving forward. Just since this pen needs to move fairly freely. I'm going to use pliers, which... Let's find a pair of pliers. Ugh. Sweet. The same. Maybe these screws the same way, but kind of. That's good. So, yeah. How many people we got watching right now? 3 people. Welcome to all. Might as well give a reminder. Got a feeling most of you are, but if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Because, yeah. The YouTube things. I'm trying to get back into it. It's been a hectic couple weeks. Do you run a secondary with the Wingchester or just run the Shellington? I will almost always run a sidearm. Usually that looks like some kind of hammer primed blaster, so a hammer shot or a sweet revenge, though I do have a one of the Fortnite ones that I'm playing with, and I'm not sold on it being a replacement for the hammer shot. I don't think it's ergonomically very good, but it has some promise and some potential. The bigger cylinder size is nice. So yeah, usually I'll run a sidearm at the very least. Recently I've put my crooked cousin on this guy, which is more of kind of a master key, but again, filling that secondary role. But I haven't really run it in any games where like a secondary would be super beneficial. Nothing like Titan Ball or Net Game or anything where you want, you know, multiple ammo types. Yeah. So, just so y'all know, this is the lifter mechanism. So you have just this piece here, which just holds it in, and this is the actual elevator. This is the pin that impinges on that cam we were just looking at. And so when you close the bolt forward, so the lever closes, it pushes this down, which lets another shell pop. I have a shell pop out of the magazine into there, and then when you open up the action, it is allowed to pop up, and then when you prime back forward, this is picked up and pushed forward. If you're wondering how that whole thing works, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with this elevator, but might as well replace it since it was the system giving me issues. So that goes in last. So bolt and power pack in, then this whole thing, which has our ejector, slides not that far in. Did I do this backwards? I did this backwards. It goes in last. So the elevator first, which is a little finicky. Make sure you get under the cam. And all the way in. I guess that is all the way in because this goes there. Cool. hard to see because it's making sure everything's lined up. Cool. Cool. So let's go ahead and put. Uh-oh. I think we're stuck somewhere. Oh, no, we're definitely stuck somewhere. There we go. Okay. Before I do that again, I'm gonna put this on. New parts. Need to know each other. Alright, let's start to lock this up. So, with the 2-part lower receiver, this is the second part, which is just, in this version, kind of just a spacer, but it does hold on the front of your upper receiver. But yeah, that's the, it makes sense that that's the cut they made to trim this down a little bit, but it's a little weird. I'm going to start putting this screw in back here. Alright, so all of that should be good and locked up in there. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 screws in the back of this. It's actually going faster than I expected. Oh, sometimes projects be like that. I'm gonna have to find good live stream music because this is way better with music than without. Hope you all agree. I will say one thing about this build is you have to power tap, which means use the screw to tap the hole while you're screwing it in. Don't know if that's the right term, but you have to put in long screws, and I mean like long screws, like my pinky for comparison, all the way through chunks of plastic. So be prepared for that building this guy, but that's a good forearm workout. Do you think one could modify 2 of these to run akimbo? I really want to say yes. And the reason is, I think it would be very easy to make a left-hand ejecting one, because you, especially since it's 3D printed, you basically just take all of your parts and flip them over your barrel axis, mirror them, so all this stuff would be over there and whatever. The problem I think would come in with the lever and then connecting the trigger, because the way the trigger works. Oh, why are you sticky? Oh no. Oh no. Oh. That's the other thing, is sometimes this thing locks up and you're like, why are you locking up? And just one little thing's ever so slightly out of alignment. Usually the lever is just a little stuck. But, come on. It's my lifter. I see. Oh, this thing's open. The way the trigger works, like I was saying, is you simply have a trigger, which when pulled, pushes that surface up, which pushes on the base of your catch plate down in there. So that, I think, would be the problem with trying to get two of these to run, or making a double version, a Manta mod, if you will. But if you could figure that out, I think it could work. I mean, obviously that's twice as much blaster and twice as much mechanism to malfunction and get bent and dirty and crud all up in. But I don't see why. I think the mechanism would allow for it. A little bit of a bevel right there. See if that fixes my problem. Seemed to fix that problem. Oh, that pin fell out. Yeah. Cool. Oh my gosh. What now? Why aren't you happy? All I did was put one screw in. So I'm gonna take out that screw. After still. Oh. Why aren't you happy? What? I'm gonna put it on my iPro real quick, cause this might go sprawling. This still has its spring. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what is a timing issue? This one real quick. Oh, and now I have to take these long screws out. Or actually, let me do this. Might have covered this earlier, but you can pull the plunger tube off the bolt and pull that out and see what's going on the inside. So gonna Hopefully loosen this up a little bit. I guess my lever might just be going a little too far. Yeah. Give me a second, y'all. anyone still here? Alright, cool, we're back. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I missed nothing. Looks like people are still watching. Sorry, I had to dip for like 5 minutes. My roommate's parents are here, so you know. I think we should be okay. I'm gonna put that together. I don't really know what's happening. It's fine with that. I'll put this in. Is there a picture? All right. Looks promising. Oh, hold on. That's not. That could be my problem. Hold on. Let us see. Second. Cool. Right. The second that happens, that locks up. I'm gonna come back to this, because I'm a little stumped. So I'm gonna let that sit down there and think on it. Okay. So, putting the barrel back together. Do not think I have anything here. So, first things first. An O-ring for the shell seal. Just as simple as that. Did I do this the other way? I don't think so. This one. So that just happens there. Oh, right. This is how this goes. This is why this is annoying. So this O-ring. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Remember a weird, like, maybe that's a change to this. Hold on. Where is my reach piece? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is a change. There used to be a spot in the breech where you had to get an O-ring that would hold the barrel in place, but it seems like now you've just got a little more of a pressure fit. I don't think that spot's in there. Because I don't think I can get an O-ring in that way. I don't think. What's my cleaner end? Go this way. Yeah, it's not gonna go in there. Cool. Sweet. That is one fidgety thing gone. So now to set the barrel depth, you simply take a shell and this, you push them together. Take your barrel clamp. Put that down on in there. Just those are pressed together. Tighten down your clamp. Which, again, this is Probably got better tension on it now because there's 2 screws instead of 1 holding this pipe on. Very nice, very nice. And then I guess we just throw that on there. Do that. That should get squeezed. And hold us good and centered and sealed. We'll see. We'll see how this do. Okay, I've done that. I just went through and kind of opened up the edges on the little follower groove here. Just hit them with a file just to make the magazine a little bit smoother. Or just around the edge. A rounded file would be. Rounded file would be very, very smart to grab. Painted these parts with a raft, so I've got a little bit of a gross bottom, but nothing bad. Just want to take a file to it and kind of clean up these edges so nothing gets stuck in my mag tube. Yes, I know. Filing noise is exactly what you guys want to be listening to. Just a little goes a long way, especially when you've got some things under spring tension jumping between printed parts. I think we can assemble this guy. So all of this is held together, just slotted into the handguard here. Oh, that gap is gonna be ugly. I wonder if my barrel's still in spec. You should be doing ASMR. Yeah. Nerfer ASMR. It's just caliburns being primed. Yep. There's also definitely cylinder ring in this piece. Okay, there we go. Pull that out. Let me just test fit all this together and make sure the barrel is feeling right. This definitely feels deeper. Do I dare look up the instructions? Let me check Discord, see if there's the updated instructions on there. Can shine a little light on why my barrel seems to be short. And maybe my barrel is short. For all I know. I've moved away from this beta test hardware kit being back. Ooh. Alright, so apparently now there's a tactical read adjustable stock version of the straight lever. So I might have to look into might just have to look into printing one of those to see if that fixes the problem that my fat boy does. Assembly. There's so much stuff on this Discord. If it proves to be a problem, I actually go digging. That's too much work to do on stream, you know? I'm gonna make sure that the actual barrel hole is nice and smooth though. This one, there is any stringing in here, a couple. Happy Friday indeed. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody's Saturdays are nice and empty and relaxing. I, for one, have like 3 hours of rehearsal tomorrow. Which, I mean, isn't great, but there's definitely worse things in the world than to go in. What's a Wingchester? A Wingchester is a fly point shell shooting, half dart launching, lever action boyo. Originally designed by Mr. Heathpants, then kind of polished and finished up by Mr. G-Dop, whatever his numbers are, over at Shellington Blasters. So, yeah, it's a cool little toy. It is probably my favorite blaster at the moment. See, that's why I'm worried, because if this last barrel section, I don't know if y'all can see that, is wobbling like that, then no dart's gonna come after that. So the lever gun was the beta name, kind of the pre-release name for the same thing. I believe the release name is the Wingchester. Think Winchester, but what is it? I think it's Heath. Heathpants has a bird motif with his blaster designs in their names. So, Wing. How do I fix this? I mean, I guess I can try to just go in and fuse these two files. and reprint it as one longer piece. I'll just use a strip of duct tape for now. Hold that flat. Yes, G-Dop 26 through Shellington. Be right back. I need duct tape. All I have is bright orange. All I have is safety orange duct tape. That'll do. It's cool. It's fun. If you like kind of gimmicky but effective blasters, I would highly recommend picking one up. Yeah, I think that whole thing is really known by the beta testers because I think it just got released and was like, hey, it's released, and everyone was still calling it the lever gun. But yeah, on the beta testing Discord, there was there's a whole separate section that was just like name ideas because it didn't have a name for pretty much right up until the release, which was only like a month ago. So yeah. If you want to know more about kind of the beta test version and stuff like that, I have a review of the beta tester model up on my channel that you can go check out after this live stream. And I think with that, it's time to start assembling this boyo. Oh, come on. Oh wait, I was putting off fixing my my actual internals. I'm gonna finish putting the front end together, and then I'm gonna figure out why the heck this thing won't work. It's kind of very interesting. What's the music we got going today? Cool. I'll be using the wrong screws in places, but I think this is the right. Whoa, just looked it up. It's way more fantastic looking. Yeah, it's a nice kind of futuristic design. Especially if you print your own, there are ways to get this kind of more classic Wingchester vibes out of it. There's a front handguard that doesn't have the vent holes in it. Yeah, the Swift kind of looks like a fishy kind of railgun thing. I'm gonna check one out one of these days, but they're expensive. Yeah, I really like the aesthetics. I'm a huge sci-fi fan and a huge cowboy fan, so you know, things like Star Wars and Firefly and Cowboy Bebop are, you know, right up my alley. My roommate just groaned, but everything's okay. big improvement with this version of the barrel is that the muzzle is threaded, so you can get muzzle devices and, you know, orange tips instead of, I had designed a little like snap-on cap thing or using a wrap of duct tape for that, as well as the follower cap. Where's my spring? There's my spring. Being threaded as well. So you know, got a good old ooh-woo in there. And this is way more secure than the old design. Greeter is the closest thing to Cowboy Star Wars canon. What are you talking about? There's dozens of cowboy comparisons in Star Wars canon. Star Wars is a Western. I mean, not to mention, you know, that's just like kind of classic Star Wars, much less, you know, things like The Mandalorian. But, Han Solo's a cowboy. Well, Han Solo's a cowboy. He's more on the outlaw side of cowboy, you know, whatever. I mean, yeah. I mean, so is Greedo. Greedo's a bounty hunter, you know, gun for hire. So is Bosk and Boba Fett and so many Star Wars characters. Why won't you work for me? Oh dear, dear Wingchester, give me your plunger. Why are you stuck? I don't understand. What? Print super, this is interrupting the print super clean, so maybe it's just sitting low. Okay. I'm so confused why this keeps locking up on me. There's not a lot of wiggle in there. So like, okay. I don't know how we got into like mariachi, but we'll go back to some jazz. What's going on here? I'm so confused at this right now. Why are you mad at me? How's everybody's Friday night going? And it's locked up again. What the heck? Just put in that screw and it locks up. Why? Safety squints aren't good enough. Alright, this is weird, y'all. I don't know what's happening. Best guess, this housing piece is the wrong shape because this receiver is a new version. And that's causing something somewhere to get stuck. Just relaxing. Good to hear, Aaron. Good to hear. Guess and say that right there's just a little proud. There's pressure that's making me out somewhere. Wait, Aaron, which blaster got you interested in 3D printed blasters? This one? Or something else that I was talking about earlier? I missed that. So that should be working. This is down. What? This? Pull down on the bolt. Does it? No. Y'all, this is weird. This is weird shit. The links, yeah, the links is nice. I am so very sad that the one I had my hands on was for a commission. Yeah, I like the links. I want a personal one eventually. Yeah, some of the stuff, I mean, stuff like this that's so complicated and so like, I mean, no toy brand's gonna come out with something like this, much less something like this that hits competitive numbers. Maybe Dart Zone, if not that you watch my channel, but if you do, I'd love to see it. So like it's a cool way for us to get cool things. Yo, I just found out the resistance bomber isn't the dumbest ship design. I mean, if you look into legends for Star Wars, just look at the uglies. Just Google Star Wars uglies. Maybe not. That might come up with some weird stuff. You find some dumb cobbled together stuff, but no, it's actually not bad. It's just used dumb in that movie because it's a air to ground, not air to capital, not space to capital ship design. Why do you hate me? What? Why? Why? Huh? What? Is it my ejector that's catching on something? No, because I can move that forward just fine. Okay. So, say like that. Okay. So it's nothing to do with that piece. This. Huh? Hey, Dart Zone, you listening? Man, if they're listening, then we need to give them even more love. If they're listening to small creators like me. Okay. Huh, how do I fix that? that is how I fix that. I mean, Zuru sent me one of their big boxes of stuff, which I am shooting trick shot videos with. I think this weekend. I think me and some buddies are shooting some trick shot videos this weekend, probably Sunday. So maybe keep an eye out for some shorts on my channel that are dumb art school boys doing dumb things with some X-Shot blasters and a big old target. Tell your friends. Yeah. The thing with the Lynx is it's a smooth prime. It is buttery. Even compared to something like a Caliburn, which is a pretty smooth prime, it just is slick. And then you get some stout power out of a Lynx. So, yeah. So, the Lynx is fun. The Lynx is a lot of fun. To be honest, I'm not a fan of bullpups, but yeah. I like the Lynx. I was remember your channel was gaining subs fast. I feel like a year ago you only had 500. That's probably less time than that. I had 500. So I think I got 500 around New Year's, because I know that's when I think that's around when I started. Maybe even later than that. But no, I've been growing fast and still are. It's thanks to, honestly, you guys who are my fans and who watch my stuff and interact with it, so that the algorithm is like, oh, people like your stuff. We should keep promoting you. There's space around that of some variety. MacGyver, go. What can we do? Make it look half decent, so we'll get some athletic tape. Probably doesn't have to be that big. Do I have use paper. Skizzers. I want to exaggerate. Yeah, no, it's I appreciate not wanting to exaggerate, but it is definitely crazy how fast my channel has been growing. Scissors. I guess I might as well make this look a little good. I'll edit and hide a seam. So, I don't know if any of you guys were watching when I talked about this, but I designed myself a new stock, which is a thick boy. This was for two reasons. One, the original. Oh, where's my original stock for comparison? Oh, is it in the trash? It's not in the trash. It's right here in my parts bin. Oh. This is the original straight lever stock. This is my replacement. With the original, it puts your eye so low behind the blaster that you were just looking into basically the back of this rail. So the second you put any kind of optic on top, it was not usable. So I just designed a little exaggerated version that puts your eye up high enough. In addition to that, the wider butt plate is way more comfortable. Now aesthetically, this leaves some things to be desired. It kind of looks fat, almost like a fish to me. Some slightly shorter hardware. I don't need this to be that strong. So if any of you out there, whether you're in chat right now or watching the VOD later, are interested in cleaning up some of the aesthetics on this for me, let me know. Shoot me an email and I'll send you the files, and you'll get all sorts of praise from my channel. Cause yeah, I love this blaster. I will continuously be updating and upgrading this blaster so it's just a little more usable, a little more reliable, a little more effective constantly. Right now we have a sketchy fit, because I think why I was locking up was the bolt assembly was shifting too far forward, so the basically the lever wasn't getting enough like purchase to throw the bolt backwards. So we're just making a little bit of a spacer. This tape's kind of thick. To to disallow the lever from going so far forward. And sorry, I need my thighs for a second to use as a clamp. This will not be happening. Spring. With any luck, that like millimeter should do the trick. So, hopefully now we can reassemble. Come on. That in there. And this right here. That right there is promising. It's promising. Let's see if I was right. Oh, if I was right. And it kind of fits with the aesthetic I like for this thing. I kind of, my original build on this, I kind of rushed so I could take it to a Fallout LARP, Nuke Lanta, which was a ridiculous amount of fun. Pretty sure I've got at least one video about that up on my channel, if not two. I did a loadout video about that garb. There we go. Yeah, sure, really quick. Hey, I think I fixed it. I do know who Mongoose Jake is. I don't watch a lot of his videos, because frankly, I don't watch a lot of reviews. Partially because if I get a new blaster, I would like to review it, and I would like to review it blind, with my own opinions in my head, not echoing someone else's opinions that I've already heard. But no, the handful of his videos I have watched, I've quite enjoyed. He makes some cool stuff. I did 2 videos. Cool. Good to know, good to know. What's that pen that I'd like to be in here? It doesn't look like he'd be interested at all in going all the way through there. If that's working, I guess I get to put this whole thing back together? Put... Oh. Let's retake this later. Put one of these screws in. Why do you ask about Jake? Any particular reason or just curious? One thing I need to work on with this thing, because this thing will continue to be one of my primary blasters for whatever event I go to, is a better loadout for this thing. I already mentioned I'm working on some speed loaders for it, which speed loaders for a tube is kind of hard. Kind of ambitious thing. There's also not much like historic things to draw inspiration from historically for that. Because usually, especially when you're doing something like simulating weapons, someone's tried your idea. So you can usually find some historical reference for things, but sadly, there's not one of the things. Oh, I just wanted to know if anyone knew who he was. I'm also trying to make sure he doesn't get a bad reputation for Thundershot stuff. Okay. I don't know anything that would give him a bad reputation about the Thundershot stuff. I haven't heard of any of that. That sounds like something I should be aware of. So maybe I'll have to go check up on him with this Thundershot stuff. Thundershot's one of the... Could do attack stock for the lever action. Yeah, so I have a shell holder that does fit onto the stock. And I just popped on the Discord for a second. And there is a new stock design that is adjustable for this guy that I'm gonna look into. Yeah. I know also there's a guy working on, I have his test file that's not been printing well. He's gonna send me the new file once he gets a new prototype. That puts a shell rack right over here on the side. So there's all sorts of fun stuff you can do. So yeah, I've got all sorts of ideas. The one cool thing is Mr. Heathpants did design some shell caddies. I have one somewhere. I think it's on one of my vests right now. For this thing that are pretty slick. So I'm gonna do some playing around and try to come up with a loadout or two that I like for this guy. There's a big thing, company, there's Busby's social media. They said that he lied about Thundershots, good and bad varieties. Oh. Okay, yeah, again, oh, well, I'll just lost all this. Oh no, what did I do? Yeah, I was really excited to see that Busby, which I think is Primetime Toys, is their parent company. I was really excited to see them put out a lever action, or not a lever action, a Hammer Prime something. Just because I think Hasbro's the only company that has up to this point. But I saw it on a shelf somewhere and went, no, that's not going in my hand. That does not look comfortable. Not worth my money. So, sorry, Busby. Maybe hand one of your employees one of your toys before you release it. Anything wrong with them? Yeah. Yeah. I just hope hearing that, I hope he comes out on top of all of that grossness, because that's all that is just people being gross. And I don't know if he's on any of like the Busby is an independent company. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think Wallcom did a recent video about, hey, Busby, you used to make good blasters. What happened? So, you know, that Primetime is Dark Zone. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Obviously, that shows you just how much I pay attention to that end of things. I'm in it for the game. I'm in it for the fun. Not in it for the politics and the drama. Speaking of, I have yet to get my hands on any of the Pro Line blasters, and I need to. I think the DZP3, the flywheel guy, is kind of weird looking, but kind of cool. Haven't watched anyone's review. Hey, Sovin, how you doing? Haven't watched anybody's reviews on those yet. Probably should, just because I'm probably not going to get my hands on one ever. But maybe I'll get my hands on like a Max Striker and stuff so I can do comparisons to the Nexus Pro-esque performance benchmark. Because things used to be compared. Oh, that was my duct tape. Okay. Things used to be compared to like a Retaliator or a stock long shot, but now everything's going to be compared to a Nexus or a Conquest Pro going, not a Conquest, a Aeon Pro going forward as far as performance goes. So should probably be able to speak to that benchmark. Busby's backfitted blasters actually have good mounting potential. They do. Yeah, because I think the, was it the Reaper that was the big old, like, top slide action? Sorry, guys, this thing is really annoying to get these long screws in. Were awesome. And then the Sentinel, I have a, like, half stepped on Sentinel that I really want to do a cool integration project with. But I want to make, like, a super heavy, like, double blaster that's crazy, and I need to get my hands on the secondary blaster. So yeah, should do that. The Mark III doesn't feed fully loaded. Interesting. I wonder why. Why wouldn't it? Is it just when they're fully loaded? It's probably something to do with spring pressure. Or probably being presented too high to the pusher, pushes it into the top of the cage instead of into the wheels, maybe? Is it a vertical or a horizontal flywheel cage? I guess I could look it up at this point, but I'm busy. Did those two... Oh, right, that's where they came out of. Here's one thing I will say about building this thing. Before you get all the screws in the top cover put in, test it. Make sure the action runs. Because I think I just counted, there are, if you use the split upper receiver, there's, I think, 10 screws that just go in through the top cover. Not to mention the at least 2 that come in through the handguard. It's a vertical cage. Thanks, Spacebot. Interesting. So, yeah, if you're building one of these guys, run a couple shells through. And that is why this is, oh, where'd that go? This is why this is fun. Alright, let me get a dart. Okay, look at that. A dart under my desk. Wunderbar. It is a vertical cage, and the pusher has friction with the mag. Okay, that's kind of loose. It'll do. Interesting. Where are my shells? Interesting. That kind of feels like an oversight, but who knows? That sounded like a dry fire. Let me... just feel my head spacing, because my head spacing must be too tight. My head spacing is fine, I think. Let me just tighten down the handguard. Goes over the dart and pulls it back. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder if they just didn't test it? Because my brain kind of jumps straight to that, to going, oh, so the pusher's too wide to fit between the feed lips of a Talon. And so you get a little... That still sounds like a dry fire. Didn't lose that O-ring, I didn't lose that O-ring. The barrel's right there. Well, it's cycling fine. Let me just button it up and see if it's a wiggle thing. Just lock down the front end a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird about the Mark III. Though, I mean, the cynic in me wants to say it's about time that they had one thing that didn't work great in that line, because, jeez, they've been hitting it out of the park. I think maybe the O-ring on the pusher tube folded. It just sounds like a dry fire. Interesting. Let me give it one more test and then I will try it. Yeah, let's check out that plunger. Let's check out that O-ring. How many is it? Alright. I'm gonna check this and then I'm gonna call it, because we've been at this for 2 hours. I've been at this for 2 hours. I don't know how many of y'all have been here this whole time. Hope not too many of you. That'd be a lot. Zine, what's going on? On earlier in our Star Wars Cowboys, Cad Bane, absolutely. Cad Bane's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He's so cool. One of these I'll have time to actually get into cosplaying, because I've done it before, done it a little before, but always kind of companion characters with my girlfriend. But maybe I'll have to do a Cad Bane cosplay. That'd be cool. That'd be fun. Obviously with functioning foam dart blasters as my props, because come on. These long screws. So annoying, especially when it's your first time putting them in and out. It's first to cut threads. Ugh. It's a hard angle to get to. Cad Bane is for his species. Does he? I don't think I ever looked that deep into it. I do know that his the breathing tubes he wears are not necessary, but they're actually a bypass for if he gets force choked, which is just a cool detail to add in to such a character who's notorious for hunting down powerful people like force sensitives. It's a lot smaller than normal. Interesting. I wonder if that was so his hat didn't look weird. You know? Because he's kind of got that wide brim hat going, but if you made the crown of it wider, it'd look really short. I don't know. Although, though if I'm being honest, it'd be really cool if the canonical reason for his head being small is that he had some like back alley super duper sketchy surgery to have like non-necessary parts of his brain removed so his head was a smaller target. Oh, that's what happened. My, hold on, here we go. My plunger tube is disconnected from my bolt. I can guess when that happened. Lord. Oh, hey. At least that's an easy fix. I think the Doros in the original. I think you're right. That sounds more than believable to me. Oh yeah, because isn't the Cantina band made up of mostly Doros? All Doros? Or is that different species? Am I thinking about something different? Who knows? I need like 2 extra hands. Speaking of Star Wars, where's that? Why can't I be that pod racer guy with the extra hands? So he's like waving at the crowd while like powering up his pod racer. Can you tell I grew up with Phantom Menace? and was Biff. Interesting. Cool. I'm a Star Wars nerd, but obviously I don't know all the details. So, since we're talking about Star Wars, well, you know, a couple of us still here. Yeah, see, I want that happened again. I think it's because I have that ledge in here. I don't really know what to do about that. I was gonna ask y'all a question about Star Wars, and then I got distracted. Oh yeah, what are y'all's thoughts on the rumor that Dave Filoni is making a new timeline that ignores the sequel movies? Just give me one people on this, if any. I know, dangerous move mentioning the Star Wars sequels on the internet. I'm gonna hold this together. Kind of strange? Yeah. I think there's a way to do it without declaring them non-canon. But, Jar Jar's the chosen one. Another hot take. I enjoy Jar Jar Binks. Not gonna lie. He's goofy, and comic relief is always helpful. Hey, we're all good. Yeah, it's yeah. Because Star Wars never has been a multiverse, and I think that that's such a easy way to get around hard writing, is say, oh, it's a different timeline. It's the Anakin character here all over again. I don't think we're gonna see another Anakin. And even if we do see an Anakin character arc parallel, it's not going to be done nearly as well. Because just Anakin as a character is so good. Not to mention just how freaking genius Sidious was with the whole, you know, turning of the chosen one and Anakin Skywalker's beautiful storytelling, story writing at least. Yeah, I kind of hope they don't make a completely new canon, or at least say separate canon. I hope they keep it all one canon, but yeah, I love the some of the Legends stuff, and I really would love to see them bring some of those storylines back. I'm not quite sure how they would, given the current state of stories, but just because like Luke and Leia Skywalker were such monumental characters in a lot of the Legends stuff. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I saw an interview with, I think it was the woman who directed The Last Jedi, It was like, right, directing a Star Wars movie is so hard because it's not like there's a book to base the movie off of. And like all the Star Wars fans were like, I have a library of them if you really want to be disproven. At that point. How much younger? Yeah. Sokka how much younger Anakin was than Padme. She was older in episode 1 of the story won't work. I agree. And honestly, I think that's less to do with Anakin and more to do with Padme. And granted, in the novelization, they do some shenaniganery that, you know, makes it less bad, but it's still like kind of weird. It makes me hopeful for more legends. Yes. I love the idea of seeing different versions of our favorite characters. Yeah, no, that's true. Oh, I have no clue who that is. I can't even remember where I saw that. I just stuck in my head because I was like, legends. What was I gonna say? What do y'all think about the what's it called? The Star Wars Visions thing? The Star Wars anime looking thing? I'm kind of excited. It looks like a lot of fun. I've only seen like one of the trailers, so I haven't really looked into it. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Any thoughts? No thoughts on Star Wars Visions? Do y'all? I think it's called Visions. I might be wrong. Do you have any clue what I'm talking about? Visions makes Star Wars and multiverse. Oh, you're so right. Man. Well, darn. There goes. Well, will it? Yes, I hope it holds up too. That is kind of my one worry, is that it's gonna be kind of cool, and then the stories aren't gonna be any good. I don't have Disney Plus anymore. I can't watch Clone Wars with a new series. Oh. Honestly, I thought Bad Batch was okay. It was. Just kind of felt like it wasn't going much of anywhere. Honestly, I think just getting Disney Plus when the new the month the new Mandalorian series is fully out, and then binging that is worth it. Stop Star Wars motion. Visions was cool. Some episodes weren't very good. Wait, is it out? I didn't know it was out already. I guess I have to watch it. Is it on Disney Plus? Somebody tell me. Am I about to binge this whole thing this weekend? Well, and I feel like whenever you have something that is going to be a collaboration against completely different teams of people, even if you have a through line that's a similar director or writer, you're going to have some episodes that fall through. Yes, it's on Disney Plus. All right, well, I know what I'm watching this weekend, because I just finished watching Haiku, and now there's a hole in my life because I don't have a good show to watch. In the realms of not canon but not legends. Yeah. Again, maybe a weird gray area that we might get to explore more. We'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I guess I'll let you know whenever I get around to doing another live stream, and we'll talk about it again. Really. Yeah, so not Legends, not canon, so multiverse. Each episode was made by a different studio, so they really vary. Yeah, and honestly, that's one of the things that kind of first got me excited about it, was like, oh, there's going to be a lot of different people messing with Star Wars. And that's always fun, because you get new and interesting stories, new and interesting things. But, yeah, should be good. Again, I will let y'all know once I watch it. The Disney Old Republic show is going to be good or bad. I don't know. I'm excited for it because Old Republic, I've played the first game and it was so much fun. And I loved that story. But I don't know how this show's gonna go, to be honest. Jesus, Star Wars. I'm gonna say no comment on that one, because I'm hoping it's not just like Star Wars weeb pandering. I doubt it will be. Disney doesn't really fly with that kind of stuff all that much. Well, y'all, I think I got this thing buttoned back up. And is who? I don't know.
He's like, are you at Colin's apartment? I was like, no, he's here. He's like, okay, I'm coming over to Senate Gate. Is he going to open the gate?
Andrew?
Yeah.
Probably. I know Carl was saying he wanted to watch some weird show, so maybe. I don't know. Alright, y'all. Apparently people are coming over to my apartment, so we're gonna dump a tube of just like letting shells fly to make sure the tube works and everything works, and then I think we're gonna call it a night. So yeah, get your last Star Wars quips out. Might have just put 7 in the tube. I think I put 6 in the tube. Bang! You're kidding me. Some of these like extra screws, like, ooh. Just gonna loosen up some of these side screws and yeah, it's weird because of who the main character is. Revan as a character is convoluted. Y'all, I'm gonna be so mad if this thing's locked up. Oh, no, it's definitely just these extra screws holding it. So yeah. Limp lever, no, there is some like free play in the lever. So you can, I don't really know why, but there is some loose play in the lever normally. It locked back up because, yeah, combo of being under spring pressure and all these screws in the side that are holding in the 2-part upper receiver. Probably my bolt carrier is, you know, out of spec. So all of those screws are just like digging into it. But that second round chamber, fine. Just loosen those up. There it goes. And that's why this thing's fun. Alright, well, it works. I obviously need to further update some parts, but probably won't do that on stream just because it's going to be 1 or 2 parts. Thank you all so much for joining my live stream. It's like a 2.25 hour live stream. That's pretty decent. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you're still here and you're not subscribed, why? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hoping to get to a semi-regular upload schedule soon. This school year's been hectic and will continue to be, but we'll see. If not, I'm gonna at least try to do more live streams like this because they're fun. I like talking to you guys. Honestly, if you guys want to see more stuff from me, some appreciated in my comment section, and talking to you guys like this helps a lot, and extra, you know, more subscribes and stuff like that is great. So, thank you all so much for watching.